Honestly, it scares me that some of you are living your lives as though you are still in the trial version, as though eventually you'll get to the checkout of this version of your life, and someone will say to you, "Oh, thanks Vanessa, thanks Stacy for trying out this version of life. I'm now gonna head on to the back and get you the full version. All you're gonna have to do to redeem this is to trade in your current life, and then you'll get this new one." This simple but universally true fact makes it even more important for you to learn to live every single moment as though this is the real version of your life, because newsflash, it is. Whether you believe in an afterlife or you feel as though your final breath is it, finito, there's nothing that comes thereafter, it doesn't matter. What matters is what you do right now. What matters is that your dreams don't continue to gather dust on the shelf right now, here, today, because this is where your dreams are meant to be lived. There is no spare life, and I know it seems to be something that goes without say, but a lot of us are holding back on becoming who we're meant to be. A lot of us, we're not starting the business, we're not putting out our art. I knew this girl when I was growing up. Her name was Maria, and during class she would paint, and I would look at these paintings, and honestly, it was as though the gods had whispered colors into the tips of her fingers, the things that she was able to do when we were literally just teenagers. And I always thought I would one day become a famous painter. I always thought to myself, one day she is going to see how incredibly talented that she is, and she's going to go out and live this dream. And this was a very long time ago. We don't talk anymore. We kind of just lost touch. But what I do know is that she now works in an accounting firm, which was not her dream. And it's not to say that any of you accountants out here or teachers or lawyers aren't living your dream jobs. A lot of you are, but there's also such a huge number of us who have taken on a normal job or regular identity because we did not feel as though our dreams mattered. We did not get shown the pathway that we could be successful, that we could turn the things that we are so naturally talented at and where our interest lies, we can turn those into jobs, we can turn those into careers. Growing up, they never said that speaking, making YouTube videos, coaching people, helping people, it's not exactly a profession that people explain to you, especially if you live in a rather conservative country. People try to keep you small. The school systems already try to keep us playing and thinking small. They try to keep us in line with going to school, then picking a job that is regular or socially accepted job that we can go out to the world with and feel proud of or feel okay about. For example, if you're a teacher, you may feel proud of that. If you're someone who stocks shelves at the grocery store, I don't know why people are made to feel worse for jobs where you need less education or that are paid less, when a lot of those jobs are the most important jobs out here. If you're, for example, a doctor, a lawyer, if you have something that has a social status, pilots, for example, you are being looked at immediately as someone who is on a pedestal. And then we begin to identify with who we are. We begin to become somebody. And this already starts when we are growing up. When teachers say to certain kids, you might have been that kid where a teacher said to you, I'm not sure you can make that school. I went through this experience as well where I did not know what I wanted to do. There was nothing out here in the job market that I felt really suited me and my personality, so I wanted to carry on with school. I wanted to carry on going to college, going to university. And there was a teacher that said to me she didn't think that I could make it to the next level, so she didn't want to give me the recommendation letter because she didn't think I would pass. And it's like, we have not even gotten there yet. And people put stones in your way. People already create challenges when you have not even gotten to that bridge to see whether you can cross over it or not. People already put their vision of what they think you can do or they think you can't do, they try to already project that onto you. And that's where I need to really talk to you about relationships, affirming and non-affirming relationships, because non-affirming relationships are probably the most harmful thing that you can have in your life, because non-affirming relationships consist of people who cannot see your vision, are not going to support your dreams, and who are probably going to be part of the reason why you never get started, why you never put put your art out there, why you never start the YouTube channel, why you never start the podcast, because they're going to say to you, well, you don't have the credentials, you didn't go to school for it, you don't have any practice, you don't know what you're doing. And that is because they can't see it for themselves. They perhaps had a dream that they would never even have the courage to voice out loud. And because they never had the courage to voice out their dream out loud, they're projecting that onto someone like you who is courageous enough to at least try, to at least dream, to at least start. And I want to remind you of the fact that your brain, your mental real estate, your imagination is yours. Don't allow for anyone to be a tenant that doesn't pay rent in your head. A lot of us, we've got tenants in our head that don't pay rent. Whether it is a school teacher, like in the example I mentioned to you, whether it is, for example, a parent, or even an ex or a situationship, and you're afraid of what they're going to think when you put that first video on social media and they see it, and that they're going to think, oh, I don't want to be with you, or I don't respect you, or my child doesn't do that, or oh, that looks so dumb, you're never going to make it anywhere, look at you, you think you're doing something. You may have all of these thoughts in your mind that are already prohibiting you from living life as though this is the only life that you have, because this is the only life that you have. There is no second one on the back shelf. This is not the trial. This is the real deal. This is the actual competition. And there are people running laps around you while you are still thinking of putting on your shoes, while you are still thinking of, should I wear my Nikes or should I wear Adidas? Should I go to the track or should I actually go out and swim? The thing is, it does not matter. And once you come to realize the fact that you have allowed for a lot of life to go by, and for any of you who get triggered really easily, click out, because this is not the video for you. This isn't even the channel for you. So don't subscribe, click out, go to another channel that is going to coddle you and is going to tell you more of the things that you want to hear. But on this channel, let's be real. If you have ever been around an elderly person, perhaps you even have an elderly parent or a grandparent, and you know when you look at them and something just feels so different. Something just feels really off compared to when you look at someone who's your age or a young child, because in your mind, you are thinking it and you ask yourself if they even realize they're almost done. They are coming up to the end of their life, and there's something kind of sad, even though you don't want to be sad around them, but there's just something emotionally, something that happens to you that makes you feel a little timid. Maybe it's just me, but maybe you can also relate to this, where you think to yourself when you look at them that you hope they lived a good life. You hope that they did everything that they wanted to do. You hope that they traveled the world, that they chatted up that girl, that they married the person of their dreams, that they either had the kids or didn't have the kids that they wanted to have or didn't want to have. You hope that they adopted that dog, that they started the business, and that now they can come to a place of rest with no regrets. And if you've ever looked at someone and thought that to yourself, either because they were elderly or they were in bad shape, perhaps they were very sick and ill, and you can tell that the end is kind of nearing and there's no other way out, like we said, there's one thing that's guaranteed in life, then that is that it comes to an end. It is limited in the time that we have in these bodies, and it makes you think that you hope that they had everything that they wanted to, but have you ever applied that to yourself? Have you ever thought that for yourself? Have you ever thought that you don't want to be that elderly person or that very sick person one day that someone looks at with almost this tiny bit of pity, not because you don't respect them, but because you want them to have done everything that they ever wanted to do. And now is your chance to do that. So you can be that person that when your kids, your grandkids, your friends, anyone looks at you who knows you, once you are at a place where you've lived a good chunk of your life, people look at you and your life is a celebration. Your life is literally a to-do list of dreams that you went after, that you tried to accomplish, that you did accomplish, because the only way to accomplish anything is to try, to go after it, to have the courage to be disliked, to have the courage to make a mistake, to have the courage to fail and then get up again and keep going at it, especially if you realize that that failure actually lit a fire in your heart and in your soul. You want to be that person where whether you are at a very old age or you're not doing well for whatever reason, because often these things go together. And that's why I said this is a hard video, because this is a deep topic and conversation. This video is probably not going to get many views or likes or retention because it's so deep, and I don't think a lot of people want to talk about this. Not a lot of people like to face this, and a lot of people would rather look the other way. But that's where you want to ask yourself, who do you want to be, and who are you becoming with the actions that you're taking every single day? Who are you becoming with the actions that you're not taking every single day? And I have been having more and more of these life-ending thoughts, not in the sense of I want to be in a life-ending situation, but in the sense of really asking myself, what do I want? What's the legacy that I want to leave? And I want you, in a very non-scary but still healing way, to ask yourself what it is that you truly want to be able to look back on and say to yourself, I'm so glad I did this. I'm proud of myself. And I'm glad that I did not waste this time. If you are healthy, you are able-bodied, you can walk, you can see, you can speak, you can smell, you can hear, you are beyond blessed. You are already in a situation that so many people dream of being in. I have friends of all types of demographics, and I have friends who live with severe disabilities, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, and they wish that they could do some of the things that I could do, and they wish that they could do some of the things that you can perhaps do. And the thing is, you're always kind of aware of it, right? Consciously or subconsciously. But it takes a moment for it to really click. And that is what I want this piece of content to do for you. I want something to really click inside of you, where you look at what you do every single day and you ask yourself whether the life that you are creating is a life that you feel proud of. Whether you are living as though this is the real deal. We are at the Olympics of your life. We are not at the trial run. This is not the unpublished manuscript. This is the finished book on the shelf. And it is being written as you are breathing, as you are living, as you are going every single day to your job, building your business, going to the gym, not going to the gym, spending time with friends, family, loved ones, spending time cooking, cleaning, traveling, doing the things that you love, doing the things that you hate but you still want to do because that's just the price you need to pay, right? Whether it's being healthy and you have to do uncomfortable things in order to get the delayed gratification of a healthy body, a good-looking body, a body that just feels phenomenal. I want you to really take inventory of every single day. I need you to refuse to die with your dreams still in you. I need you to refuse to live as though you still have a spare life in the back. And you know what? I'm not even going to pretend as though it's easy. I'm not going to even pretend to try to say to you, just manifest it in the most easy way. If you're on this channel, if you're still listening to me, then you know that, of course, I'm a proponent of manifestation, but manifestation only works if you pair it with inspired action, if you pair it with the right mindset. And a way in which I have been auditing myself is to literally audit the time. And I recommend that you do this. This is one of the most powerful ways to figure out if you're living your fears or you're living your dreams. Write down every single thing that you do throughout the day, every single minute. Literally, I do this every couple days to keep myself on track from 7:30 in the morning until 8 at night, 10 at night, for however long I'm actually working. I will write down when I took a tea break, when I went for a walk, when I had a matcha, when I finished editing the next YouTube video, when I vacuumed, when I posted in my communities, when I had one-on-one client calls, literally everything, even in 10-minute intervals if the tasks switched and changed. And doing this for a couple days will give you so much clarity about where your most valuable asset is going, which is your time. And people who say time is money, they don't understand the value of time, because time is greater than money. Let me tell you what, if I were to say to you, all right, I'm gonna give you $1 million right now, who wants it? Everyone's gonna be like, yeah, I want it, Vanessa, obviously. But if I were to say to you, you know what, I'm gonna give you $1 million, but the deal is, the contingency is that your life ends tomorrow, but you can have the $1 million. But you have to do a deal with the devil, and that's the fact that your life ends tomorrow. That's what you're giving up. Who's going to take the $1 million now? Not very many. I hear crickets. Actually, I hear nothing. Actually, even the crickets have left the building, and that is because we all understand, either consciously or subconsciously, that time is greater than money. Time is far more valuable than money, especially for all those of you who have professional aspirations and you believe in yourself and you know that in that time you could make far more money. The thing is that when you believe in yourself, you don't think that time is equal to money because you have the self-belief, the courage to think that I can make a lot more than that in a short amount of time if I just knew how. But in order to know how, in order to really live your dreams, and that comes with freedom in every single area of your life, whether that be in the material realm, whether that be you feeling healthy, having time for friends and family, for your hobbies. Maybe you want to further your education, or you want to do something super challenging just for fun, whether it's doing bodybuilding, learning how to play tennis, going on hikes, whatever it is that you want to do in this lifetime, you will need time, but you will also need financial freedom for it. And every single day that goes by, I want you to, step one, take inventory of the things that you're doing, and then also rate whether those are actually leading to your desired outcome. My little chocolate milk tea making an appearance. Oat milk, of course. Because in order to actually stop living life as though you have a spare one somewhere waiting for you, you have to get real with yourself on whether the actions that you are taking are getting you closer to your desires or are actually taking you further away from the desirable outcomes. For example, block out that first hour of the morning for yourself, whether you like it or not. I know a lot of you are just like me, and you like to wake up and you like to scroll your phone. You want to know what's going on, you want to read the emails, you want to see who's DM'd you, you want to see who hasn't texted you, because there are still some people who are needing to be blocked in your phone because they don't know how to act. Yeah, dating in this day and age, it's an interesting climate, interesting time in human history. And perhaps you even want to distract yourself and you're just used to it. For a lot of us, it's just a habit. It's not even that there's anything good going on within our phones. Often it's quite the opposite. I don't even read the news anymore because it's all just sensationalized negativity anyways, and I don't want that in my system, and neither should you, babes. But moving on, you're going to want to banish that phone for the first hour of the day, because guess what? You are giving your power away. Because where your energy goes is exactly where your attention flows as well. So if you are giving your energy and your attention to negativity or to just anyone or anything that pops on your screen that morning that you don't have control over, just think about it. If someone sends you a message, a really mean message, or you're expecting a text that you didn't get, you expected a call and you didn't get it, you are immediately allowing something that is outside of your control to control how you feel on the inside, to control how you get up out of bed that morning, whether you are excited to start your day or whether you feel like you're already dreading it and you are just overthinking stuff that does not add to the quality of your life. And I want you to actually sit down and dissect your actions. So when you create a list of the things that you're doing and you stay away from social media or your phone for the first hour of the day, you first take care of you, which means brushing your teeth, doing a face mask, going for a walk, making yourself ready for work, getting your snacks ready. Maybe you're doing a meditation, a little breath work. Maybe you're pulling a little tarot or oracle card, getting a little message of the day. Okay, the ship has sailed. Literally, the ship has sailed for that type of behavior. If you're still watching this video and you are waiting for a sign to start living, to start going after the things that you desire, it could not be any clearer. They don't call me the psychic CEO for nothing. So you're going to want to get rid of the things that are not getting you to your goals. And that also includes people and relationships that are holding you back and that are making you overthink whether you should take that step toward posting about your business, towards putting yourself out there. So you are waking up in the morning, you're taking care of yourself. I've often already done like 5,000 steps before I even check my phone because I put it into flight mode because I don't want to deal with giving my power away, and you should do the exact same. Take back control over your day, your power, and therefore your life. life. And then as you move through your day, as the new you, as the you who is in control, you write down the things that you do, and you also start to write down whenever you are living your fears. Like, you know, when you wake up in the morning and you look at your running shoes or you look at your workout gear and you're like, I could, but I don't want to. You know, I think my body is craving a mocha frappuccino drizzled with something sugary, cotton candy on top, and whipped cream. I think intuitively my body is really craving an egg, bacon, cheese roll. I think intuitively my body is just tired. Babe, the excuses, like, I can't. And I'm not even going to get into the topic of the body positivity movement, the toxicity that was the body positivity movement, and how many people are now coming out and saying eating the cookie, eating the cake, eating the pizza every single time did not leave them feeling more positive about their body or their lives. It actually just fed into laziness and bad habits, and that's what I want to remind you of. To stop living life as though this is still the trial version, you also need to just stop putting so much ish in your body. You need to stop filling your body up with gunk that isn't even allowing you to experience life to the max. Because who, with a full stomach, feeling like they're constantly on a roller coaster of sugar highs and lows, who can actually even think clearly when they've put themselves in that situation? Who is even able to enjoy their lives? Who is even able to reach their highest potential? I'm not able to do so. You're probably not able to do so either, because we were not designed to reach our highest potential in that way. And it's not your fault, babe. The entire world, everything on social media, almost everything in the grocery stores is geared towards you not reaching your highest potential, but just towards getting your attention and getting you to spend money on things that don't actually make your life better and don't actually make you feel better, and actually end up shortening your lifespan, frying your brain, and making you never live out your dreams. But it is your responsibility to say no, to draw a boundary. It is your responsibility to decide that while that is available, you are not going to give in. While that is a reality that you can choose, you are actually going to take care of yourself, and you're not going to be one of those people that lives life as though this isn't the real thing. And honestly, you should be taking notes right now, and I want you to add the no more list to the notes that you're writing down and the journal entries that you're making. Because having a no more list is so powerful. It's basically a list where you write down every single thing that you will have no more of. Whether it is a spouse, a partner that's disrespecting you, and you are actually going to leave if that happens again, whether it's no more candy late at night because you know it gives you a sugar hangover the next morning, whether it's no more excuses of not starting your business, because how can another year go by of you never at least trying and being in a job that you don't actually like? Meanwhile, you're spending 10 hours of your waking day working at something that does not fulfill you, nor does it even give you the financial freedom to be able to do all the things that you want to do, to dress the way you want to dress, to travel the way you want to travel, to live in the home you want to live in. No more. Write it down. The more you write down your thoughts, your desires, what you want, what you don't want, the more you can actually manifest that into being. And it is scientifically proven that the people who write down their goals are far more likely to actually accomplish the goals that they've written down than the people who say, oh, it's just a mental note, or it's just all in my head. No, babe, it's not just all in your head, and no, you don't have a photographic memory. Come on now. Come on now. Stop being lazy and write those goals down if they mean anything to you. But again, it starts with you. Does this mean anything to you? Does it mean anything to you to actually start living your dreams? Does it mean anything to you to be 50, 60, 70 years old and wish that you would have done more in your 20s and in your 30s and in your 40s? Or wish that you was even still doing more in that moment? To wish that you would have taken better care of yourself when you had the opportunity to, instead of allowing peer pressure to keep you stuck? Because I have a lot of people, that's why I'm not calling them friends. I have a lot of people that I know, and I'm not going to call them my friends, because the 5 people that you hang out with they really do impact your life the most, the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So I know a lot of people who are living lives of quiet desperation because they would never have the courage to actually do what they want to do, to get in front of a camera, for example, like I'm doing right now, to speak from their soul, to share a message that they have to share their paintings, their music, their art, to quit their job, go travel Europe and end up working somewhere in a cafe for a couple months, meeting the love of their life, starting a yoga business with them, traveling all across the globe, because that's just how life played out, and they took a risk and they lived as though they really only had one life, which is actually the truth. Honestly, it does not even matter whether you become rich, wealthy, famous. It is about having tried, having lived, having just done it, having just seen, okay, how did this go? And you will find that the most precious moments are the ones in which you have that rewarding feeling of, I'm so glad that I did this. I'm so glad that I had this experience. And any consequence that may come from it, I have the strength to overcome it. I have the strength to deal with it. You guys, I have been through some things that you would never think. Some stuff that people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s have not seen, have not gone through. And I think back at the fact that, you know what, I followed my heart. I was a good person. It came from a place of love. It came from a place of trying to help another person out. It came from a place of being pure, so to me, every situation was pure. If then another person decided to place that karma on themselves by mistreating me, by lying to me, by backstabbing, by stealing from me, by putting me down, by being violent with me, that has nothing to do with me. That has everything to do with how they feel about themselves, how they feel about their life and their future, and how I triggered something in them. That has nothing to do with who I am. That has nothing to do with where I'm going. Just as what your neighbor, your teacher, your mom, your friends think about your dreams and where you want to go, that has nothing to do with whether your dreams are achievable. It has nothing to do with you living your life fully. But what does have everything to do with you living your life fully is, do you feel that you deserve it? Do you feel that you deserve it enough that you will give up the comforts of everyday life, of the patterns that you're so used to right now, that have created your current reality? Do you care enough to take your last breath one day and think back at a life that you feel proud of, to make the changes today? Because what you do right now, the changes that you make in this very moment, they create a different future. If I go for a run right now versus I now drive to McDonald's, which I can't anyways because my car is in the garage, it's broken. It's been broken for weeks. I've been housebound. If I were to, I can walk to McDonald's. But that would also be exercise. But you get what I'm trying to say. If I go for a run right now, my future is going to be different than if I go to McDonald's right now. Because if I go for a run right now, I'm probably going to feel energized. I'm probably going to have built confidence. And probably as a domino effect of going for a run, I'm going to have a healthier dinner, and then I'm going to get up tomorrow morning and I'm going to feel more energized, and I'm going to feel more capable of continuing to follow my dreams and my destiny. My dreams and my destiny of uplifting others, of helping others, because I'm actually practicing what I preach. And then if I do that the next day, and the next day, and the next day, imagine the things that I'm able to accomplish. Versus if I take myself to McDonald's now, I am probably not going to sleep very well, and I'm going to feel bad about myself the whole evening. I'm probably going to get up tomorrow morning feeling sluggish, and definitely not going to walk, not going to exercise, no 10K steps, not going to feel like talking to anybody. And I'm probably going to self-soothe by having more unhealthy habits that I feed into tomorrow, whether it's immediately starting my day with some sort of sugar-laden drink, not moving, having more fatty, unhealthy foods that are not properly fueling my body, that are actually harming me more than they're giving me drive and fuel. And I'm not going to film. I'm not going to create content. I'm not going to have someone's life be touched and inspired positively and create the legacy. I am not going to continue working on more books that I'm publishing. I'm not going to show up for my clients because I'm not going to have the energy to do so. And what will I say to them? You need to remind yourself that every single moment is important. important, and every single moment is actually dictating the next. Every single moment and how you choose to live every single moment can create your dreams. And when you see this as a sense of personal power, wow, if I do something amazing right now, I am actively creating my dreams. But it takes taking responsibility, and a lot of people do not want to take freaking responsibility over their actions. A lot of people just want to stay the same and then ask themselves why they have not accomplished their dreams. A lot of people, they want the view, they don't want the climb. A lot of people ask themselves why they can't reap the rewards, but they have not sown a single seed. How can you get mad over results that you did not put the work in for? And then you look at someone else who is driving the car that you want to drive, they're in the body that is your dream body, they're traveling to places you want to travel, they've got the business that you wish that you had, and you feel a way about it, but they paid the price. But they were the ones who got up in the morning, and rather than having the frappuccino, they had the matcha, or they drank the tea and went for a run and then had the protein shake. But rather than allowing for their friends and family to stop them from starting the business, they started the business and they showed up day in and day out because they knew this was their shot. You have to know that if you don't do it now, the more time that goes by between when you have the idea and you have the motivation and then the moment you execute on it, the less likely it becomes for you to actually live in the moment. Think about the last time you procrastinated something. Between you procrastinating the thing, let's just say you had to file your taxes or you had to clean something at home. From the moment you knew you had to do that and then you didn't do it, you procrastinated it, what happened? A moment, a few seconds turned into a minute. That minute turned into half an hour. That half hour turned into a couple hours. Then it turned into the next day. Then it turned into, you know what, I'm gonna do it on the weekend. Then it turned into, oh, I'll do it at the end of the week. Then it turned into next month, next year. It never happened unless you absolutely were forced to, but the thing just got put on the shelf. And while that can happen with little things such as cleaning your windows, reading that book that you started and never actually got to the end of, the thing that also often happens with this is that the same thing is what your dreams will go through. Your dreams will have the same fate unless you become aware of the fact that you don't have a spare life, babe. You don't have another opportunity to start the social media. You're never going to be younger. It's never going to be easier. There's never going to be less competition, and it's never going to be a better time for you to start than now. And if you're looking for motivation, if you're looking for a community where it's not just a one-off course thing that you do and then you put it away and you felt high and elated for a moment, but then after a couple days it fades and you feel like you've got this crash, you almost feel abandoned, join my communities. Join my community. I created an entire app where we talk to each other every single day. We uplift each other. We go through this entire cycle of idea to finished product, finished business together. I am in there every single day. I'm hyping you up. I'm motivating you. I share helpful tips and tools in there. I run live events where I literally coach you through so many of the areas in which you may be feeling stuck in, because this is what I would have needed 5 years ago. This is what I would have needed when I was going through a time of living as though literally I had 5 lives somewhere on the back shelf. And I don't want the same to happen to you. I'll leave that linked in the description box. I have three different circles because it's a very different conversation in each one. The seed circle is for those just starting a business and you don't even know where to begin. Psychic CEO is for those of you who are super committed. Perhaps you've even had a coach before and you don't like the whole one and done thing. You want continuous support and continuously to have someone who's got your back, a community of people who are motivated that you can make a lifestyle out of. And of course, you guys, all of these communities, there are hundreds of modules that I filmed in there on manifestation, on creating your dream life. And then my third circle is the soulmate guarantee, and the conversation in there is about love and attracting your ideal partner, your soulmate, not getting caught up in situationships and relationships you don't belong in, keeping yourself high value, keeping your standards high, and having a safe space to be amongst other individuals who value true love real love, being with a soulmate, rather than just distracting themselves with the next dopamine hit or constantly being on online dating apps. They can be so addictive. But coming out of that cycle and being able to find true and healthy love. So those are the 3 things that I have created in order to get you there, that I have created so I can support you in the best possible way. But at the end of the day, you need to learn to support you in whatever way feels right for you. And I totally get you from being a loner at school and being bullied. I very much am used to doing everything by myself, which is why creating communities was so out of my comfort zone, and I did everything alone for a really long time. And you might still be in that phase, and that's fine. We all need time to heal. And at the right time, you will see the value of community, of being coached, of being supported in just a different way than you're used to. But right now, focus on living every day like it's geared towards your goals. Right now, focus on every single day, making sure that you are healthy. Safe to say that is an overarching goal for all of us. Hydrate. If you are dehydrated right now, drink water. Put some electrolytes in it. Every single day, read 3 pages of a book. I do not like reading. I do not like getting to 10,000 steps. I do not even like drinking water. But sometimes you just have to force yourself to do these things to be able to live a life that you will be able to look back on and think to yourself, I really did it. I really lived life the way I wanted to. I really went after my goals and my aspirations, and I did it hard. It was hard, but I did it hard. It was challenging, but I stood up to the challenge. Because guess what? You are a gift in itself. You have talents that no one else has. You do it the way no one else can. And it doesn't matter what type of field that you work in, what type of talent that you have. It deserves to be seen. It deserves to be lived. You deserve to manifest all of your dreams into reality. Because after all, the dream and the vision was given to you for a reason. That's because it's possible for you, and that's because it's meant to be. My name's Vanessa Samaina, and I trust that you found this insightful. If you're here on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to never miss out on another video. And if you're listening into this podcast style, make sure that you give my podcast a review as well. That would greatly help get our vibe out there into the podcast multiverse. And wherever you are on our gorgeous planet, I'm sending you so much love, and I'll speak to you in our next episode. Bye, guys.